Hosted by David Thomas, Bill Anderson, Kenny Parker, and Jason Boyette. Brought to you by First Bank and Kincaid Service Company. Let's get ready to talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David, Bill, Kenny, and Jason.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to this edition of Bedford County Sports Talk Live. I'm David Thomas, Mr. Jason Boyette, Kenny Parker, Bill Anderson. We're here to talk some sports in our final episode of this season, guys. It seems like it's been a long time, but it's gone by fast
too.
Yeah,
goes by quick.
Yeah, it goes by quick. And this guy right here jumped in midstream. How's it feel to you? It went like that.
Went by really fast.
Yeah, it did. Well, we're going to get.
But you know the good news about this?
What's that?
When we come back, guess what it is?
Football season.
With a football on a football field.
Yeah,
with a football.
And you're going to be talking Titans.
We'll be talking Titans, Vols, Central High School, Cascade Community.
Community.
Wait.
Greatest time of the year.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You can start smelling fall coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of July.
Exactly.
But we've got some high school sports still going on here this last week of school.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk some local athletes. We're going to talk about our top 5 defensive linemen. So we've still got a pretty decent little show today. Mm-hmm. And we're going to come back after we hear from our sponsors. And I want to thank our sponsors, especially First Bank. They've been with us from day one. And, of course,
Kincaid
Service Company,
where they've been around 90-something years, guys. And we brag on them so much about their service. And you can't brag enough.
Right.
I mean, they're top-notch folks, and we appreciate them for allowing us to do this show. But we're going to pause and come back, and Bill's going to run over some scores. And we've got some other reports to talk about high school-wise. We'll be right back. Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street. All righty, welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. Bill, you got some scores for us. We got the community girls still in action.
Going to the state, 7-0.
Going to the state. You know, I had the honor of working 2 of their 3 games this week. Monday night, they played Lewis County, and they beat Lewis County 8-2. And they had I think they had a home run hitting contest because Maddie Moxley, a freshman, had a home run. Cameron Farrell, a freshman, had a home run. Taylor Wessner, a senior, had a home run. And Annie Prince, a junior, had a home run.
I saw that picture of them all holding the softballs all four. They were holding them all.
Yeah, they were. And I told them at the side I was on third base, and I said, "Hey guys, y'all got another bucket of balls because the way y'all going through them, y'all gonna need another bucket." But played well. They didn't get after it until a little bit later. Wednesday, I was behind the plate, and it was the 5th time Forest and Community played this year. And I told both of the coaches, I didn't tell them, I'm sorry, one of you going to win, one of you going to lose. I said, guys, this game's really irrelevant. The thing about it is both of you going to take care of business Friday.
Yeah.
And that's the one that mattered, Friday. Community didn't have their best game. They committed 4 errors that day. Prince didn't have her best game. And they got beat 8-5. And I will say they did steal 5 bases, and they left 8 girls on base. But
was that the only time? That's the only time that Forest beat them.
That's the only time that was the 5th time they played.
All of them have been close.
All of them had been. The last 3 had been 1-run games, and but then yesterday they go to Camden and they defeat a Camden team that is always in the state playoffs, and they beat them 7-0. And I'm going to read here the highlights of the game. It said Annie Prince dominated in the circle as the pitcher rang up 16 strikeouts in the Community Vikings 7-0 win over Camden Central. Prince surrendered 2 hits and 0 runs over 7 innings and only walked 2. Community were the first to get on the board when Maddie Maxey, a freshman, doubled, scoring 1 run. Addie Joe Melton took the loss for Camden. The starter went 7 innings, giving up 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 12 hits. Community Vikings assumed 12 hits in the game. Cameron Farrell, a freshman, led Community at the plate. Let's see here. Led Community at the plate with 2 runs batting in. She went 2 for 3 on the day. Addie Tate, Farrell, Anna Haskins, and Haley Webb, along with Maxie, all collected 2 hits. Again, solid game. Not only did they have 12 hits, they had 4 walks. They only struck out 4 times, had 5 stolen bases. And Carly Blanton, the catcher, they had no errors, which was different from what cost them in the Forest game was not playing very good defense. The 4 errors led to, I don't think Forest had but like one or 2 earned runs. But Blanton, solid back behind the plate. So what that does is that puts Community in the state playoff, state champion. They play Tuesday, 4 o'clock, Starplex Field 1. They will play the winner of the Kingston-Eagleton game.
Now, where is this being played?
Starplex,
where's
McKnight in Murfreesboro.
In Murfreesboro, okay.
In Murfreesboro.
All right. So just down the road.
At Sportscom. They play at 2 different sites there where you go to Sportscom. Starplex is the big, and then McKnight are the smaller fields down on the side. So you go down there. Both of them right next to
bottom line is we're 30 minutes away from going over there watching them instead of having to go to West Tennessee or East Tennessee right here in Murfreesboro.
Now, the unluck of the draw for Community is they're in the same bracket. It's a 14 bracket. They're also in the same bracket with Liberty Creek, which won it all last year, and Westview, which had won the 3 previous state championships before Liberty Creek put them out last year. Win or lose, they go back to play Wednesday at 1 o'clock. This time they'll be on McKnight Field. And they win, they play the winner of Liberty Creek, Westview. They lose, they play the loser of Liberty
This thing moves pretty fast.
It moves fast.
So we will have a state champion by the time next week comes around. So
by Sunday next week.
We're going to report these scores as soon as we get them. So be looking on the Facebook page, on our Bedford County Sports Facebook page for those scores. And I'll post them on Shelbyville now as well so everybody knows what's going on.
Right. And the thing about, we'll go on. We need to move on. They only have 3 seniors.
Yeah.
They only have 3
They'll be
seniors.
back next year. All right.
Very well could be.
Bill, what else we got?
Shovel spring game against Columbia up here. Got to play a lot of young guys.
Yeah, a lot of them. Had a lot of numbers out. Did you get together that, Jason?
I did not get together that night.
We had
keeping up with it.
We had some linemen that were hurt. Yeah. Blake Lay didn't play. A couple others had sprained ankles, tweaks like that, and they sit out. But we got to see some young linemen play. We got to see Robert.
About.
Robert carried the ball. Probably our second team quarterback. Got some action because, of course, Stephen hadn't got back from baseball yet and hadn't got into football mode. So he was there on the sidelines kind of coaching a little bit. The freshman coming sophomore, I think he'll make a good backup to Stephen. He seems to be able to understand the offense a little bit and hand the ball off well and throw some short passes. Of course, we didn't have all of our players out there. The standout obviously was Robert. He got 5 or 6 carries, scored a touchdown, ran over people. He was Robert. And then Torian, He carried the ball several times, and he wasn't bouncing outside doing, as Coach Dryden says, the middle school sweep. He was planting his foot and following his blockers, and he's grown up a lot. He's going to be a good coming sophomore. He's going to be good this year. The two that stood out that were on the field was Tanner Turrentine on the offensive line. I looked up every play. He was laying on top of somebody. Yeah. All right, and he's not that big, but he's just ferocious.
Yep.
And on defense, he was all over the field. They moved Ellington Scott, played linebacker, the middle spot where Brody was this past year. He was all over the field, and he's gotten bigger. Their question mark is going to be defensive backs and on offense receivers, and I think our lines are going to be okay. We got a lot of kids there, so it's a lot can happen between now and the season. Of course, we got summer workouts and all that, but they got a good foundation to build on this year.
And you say where you think they really need some work on is the receivers and
they just they got
you got 7-on-7 in the summers that you can work on that all summer long.
And it's a different ball game, of course. But they get to go through their routes, practice their timing and all that. You got Jay Whitelow, which is like 6'4". He looks like a college receiver. All right, he does.
I saw him the other day.
And from what I understand, in spring he's had good. They didn't throw to him the other night, but he was on the field. They got Xavier Jordan, probably right up there with Stephen Bobo as the fastest player. They've got an 8th grader coming up that played quarterback last year. That's just as fast as those two. That will contribute some, probably at receiver. Defensive backs, you got there's a senior, number 32, Fleur. I can't remember his first name. He made a diving interception. He looked good at corner, but the question mark, they're all new there. And of course, with Steven at free safety, that solidifies them a little bit and gives them some confidence.
You're replacing William and Ransom both in the secondary and at receivers. That's too big. They play a lot.
That's 4 starters.
Yeah. So Chandler Jones. Yeah. He was out on the field. He played well on defense, caught a couple of passes and ran hard with it. He's going to be a force. I mean, it's his senior year. He's just since football season, looks like he's put on a little weight. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to watch how these kids develop from now, the end of school, what they do this summer, and then when coming into July. When we'll be back, we'll be watching them, and we'll be ready to see how they progress.
All right. Let's talk a little shovel tennis for a minute. We got somebody going to the state, don't we,
Jason?
We do.
For as far as we know, only the second time is any player from Shovel Central High School ever gone to the state. Lily Smith, freshman Lily Smith, plays Thursday at 12:30 at the Adams Tennis Complex in Murfreesboro. So another short trip.
It's all right down the road.
Yeah, real close. So she said Mallory Hutton made it in 2010. She was runner-up. That's the only other time that we know of. And it's down to 8 now. She plays Monday at 12:30. The winners advance to a 4:30 game, and then the finals are on Friday. So it's real fast, too. So
evidently that's a single
elimination. And there's one other freshman girl besides her in the 8. So that's kind of interesting. So we may hear about Lily Smith for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
We got another thing to talk about. Yeah. A local legend, Keon Johnson. We talked about him for a while.
Oh, it's been a day or two. Of course, he's had a journey through the NBA coming out early, He's played for 4 teams, I think. But now it seems like he's settled down with the Brooklyn Nets, and he got to play. He's been in summer league.
Are they affiliated with somebody, the Brooklyn Nets?
No, the Brooklyn Nets is that's the big league. Oh, they changed from the New Jersey Nets to Brooklyn a few years ago.
Where I know about NBA.
But he came in out of the G League in summer and went right into he worked into that 6th, 7th position, and he averaged 38 minutes a game this year. Yeah, just go through some stats. He averaged 10.6 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 2.2 assists per game, 38.9% field goal percentage, 77% free throw percentage, and from 3 points he averaged 31.4%. So that's getting up there with NBA numbers. Yep. And I saw an interview, his postseason interview, found out an interesting thing. He calls it a ranch in Dallas. He's got 20 acres and got 25 goats, and he's raising goats, and he's anxious to get to his goats.
Good. All right. He's a big fisherman too. He likes to fish.
Yes, and he said that that's what he wants to do after his pro career is to have a farm and do hydroponic harvesting fish, raise fish and stuff.
Yeah.
So he has a plan after the NBA. But it's good to see him. Of course, they didn't make the playoffs, but he's an up and comer now. He's got through those tough years on the front end in the G League and finding his way. And
I have a question.
I had him in 5th grade, by the way.
Is that right?
All right, I have a question for you guys. You knew him when he was in Chevrolet, around here local. You knew he was going to be a great basketball player. Did you ever think he'd be a goat farmer and a fisherman?
No.
I guarantee you his family knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, but the farming, I wonder where that
Well, he
gene
majured
came
that
from.
Going to college. He
I know,
majored
but
in agriculture.
I wonder where that came from. I mean,
Bedford County.
There's got to be somebody influential in his life growing up.
Yeah.
Hey, how can you not love agriculture growing up in Bedford County? Think about it. And his family, don't you know they had an influence on us?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's good to see him keeping his roots through all this.
And not only keeping his roots, got a plan for his future.
Yeah.
Knows what he wants to do post basketball.
So he's still just 23 years old, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
He's had some good experience working his way up, and he's got a role on this team. So
really wished he would have stayed another year or two at Tennessee. Let Rick Barnes work with him a little more.
Well, he went through that work the tough way on the West Coast.
Yep.
I mean, he was at LA, he was at Portland. I mean, he had a rough, and he paid his dues there.
Sure.
So now he's on the
That's
up
good.
and coming watch list. He'll break the top 100 players next year, probably, as far as top 100. So, all right, what else you got, Bill?
No, you want to take a break and come back and do a little college?
I think we can do that. Let's take a break. Hear from our sponsors, First Bank, and
Kincaid
Service
Company.
where service is their middle name. Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street. All right, welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. And Bill, let's talk a little college. What's going on?
Hit baseball real quick. The Tennessee Vols in baseball started off 20-0. They have started to struggle, guys.
They have.
I mean, really struggled since then. And it's so hard to win a national championship.
It is.
And come back the next year for
you got
whatever
a bullseye
reason.
on your back.
Yeah.
That's one reason.
They beat Arkansas the night 10-7. They lost 8-6. But Tennessee's in danger here. I think this game today might be the difference in playing at home in this regional and not.
Yeah.
But the team that's on a roll is Vanderbilt. They beat Tennessee in a series last week. In fact, Tennessee's now lost 5 of those last 6 series. But Vandy, 2 nights in a row, beat Kentucky 8-7 and 9-8 in walk-offs at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Coach Corbin, he ain't fancy like Kenny and I were talking about, but he is solid.
He's very solid. Yeah.
Fundamentals from the ground up, foundation from the ground up. He's doesn't let anything ruffle his feathers.
They may make a run here. Tennessee 16-13 in the SEC. Vandy's now 18-11. Football. Did you all? I got something for you. You ready for this one? This is under Josh Heupel. This will be the first time that we've had an offensive lineman that he recruited from the high school start, and it's his 5th year. Did y'all know that?
No. Who is this?
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's the 5-star tackle and the center this year. Other than that, it's all been from someone else brought him in. One of them's a freshman, and the other one I think is a sophomore. But he's been here 5 years, and he's brought in a lot of players. Now he's had transfer portal players. Check this out. At wide receiver, since he's been here, as far as a high school recruit, there's only been one that ever started a game for him. And it was Squirrel White.
Listen,
shows you how the game's changed.
That's the game. It's a different game. And I'm telling you right now, you want to talk about college and the transfer portal and the NIL, watch out, Ole Miss is doing numbers.
Oh yeah, Kiffin knows what he's
Kiffin
doing.
He does. He's good at it. He's good.
He's always been transfer portal guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's transfer portal still, but now he's going out.
Yeah.
And investing.
You got money.
Investing in high school players. He's gonna be something to watch.
Tennessee had another commitment, a kid from Chattanooga Baylor down the road here, 6'8", 330 lineman. He went from a 4-star to a 5-star. And I see why. This boy's got an NFL frame on him.
Big guy.
He has got a frame on him. Another Tennessee recruit, Tyreek Hill, is soon to become a 5-star. He's out of Knoxville Catholic, a receiver. But this was interesting. Faison Brandon, the 5-star quarterback we all know about.
Tyreek King.
King.
Hill. We'll take Hill.
Right, yeah, for real. Tyreek King. Faison Brandon is now the number one player in America, according to 247.
He's gonna be the real deal.
And he's going to have to be quickly, I'm afraid.
But here's the thing. You're going to have to be able to pay all three of them. Unfortunately,
they'll be
you're
good.
right.
They'll be
you're going to have to.
But here's the thing: when he gets here, you got 4 guys staring at him. Who's staying and who's going?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, it is. But who's it going to be? Is McIntyre going to be the one to stay?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting. I think
McIntyre stays.
It'll be interesting because somebody's going to leave.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing about college football now.
Yep.
It's a different world for sure.
It is a different world.
What do y'all think about Nick Saban coming out? I know President Trump has appointed him to start a commission on investigating and trying to fix college sports.
Someone needs to fix it.
Somebody needs to do it. I think what he's got Nick there for is to try to set some parameters, some standards, sort of like the NFL has. So we get the salary cap and we get, can you transfer 4 times? There needs to be some set rules.
Oh yeah.
So this doesn't happen that Bill don't play for David next year and then
you would have a situation where Cam Ward went to 4 different schools.
And
I wouldn't happen.
And I'll tell you something that the NFL may be behind some of this too.
Oh yeah.
I've never pulled for Nick Saban, but I'm pulling for him on this one.
Yeah,
let's go, Nick. Yeah. And he's the one guy that could probably pull it off.
The NFL may very well be because so many players.
Well, he's like
going to different
when he talks, people listen to him. Even the guys that hate his guts, they're going to listen to him because
he could pull it off.
Yeah,
whether you want to agree with him or not, he's smart. He knows what's going on.
Yeah. Are you guys following the story about Bill Belichick in North Carolina that's not looking too good?
You talking about his girlfriend and all that?
There's even rumors out here until you see the summer here that he may not even coach a game at North Carolina. That something about that contract until June 15th or something is not guaranteed or whatever. This whole thing is bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
Very bizarre.
She's like pushed him over in the corner and she's like running the show. She's the business manager now.
And apparently North Carolina doesn't want her in the building.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oof.
It's weird.
And I don't think he's picked up the portal players everyone thought he would either. You know, I think everyone thought, well, Bill Belichick's going to get who he wants. That's not the way it's going right now. In fact, they've lost more than they've gained.
I've always viewed Belichick as a pretty smart thinker, okay? But looking at this situation, is he slipping a little bit mentally, or is he just gone off the reservation with his common sense? I mean, the head coach needs to be head coach of everything.
Girl, pretty cute. I guess that's got a lot to do with it.
I was going to say, I think there's one thing that's controlling him right now, guys.
All right, we're not even going to go there.
Yeah, this is a.
But it's a bizarre situation to where, honestly, it's out here that he may not or may coach. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
He may not ever coach. Yeah.
Amy Carney, thank y'all for helping to spread the word about Bedford County Baseball 15 and under baseball signups. We were able to have enough kids to sign up to make 5 teams this year. We have not had this age group of baseball since before COVID. So thank you. And I think it's very important. Well, something that has been missing for several years in all these smaller towns is leagues. You don't have leagues. All you've got is travel ball, and you've got so many kids left behind.
Remember the day when you would go to the park complex?
Yes.
And the lights would be on at the Little League field, the Babe Ruth field,
couldn't find a parking spot.
The softball fields, and you couldn't find I don't even know if they, after Harris Middle School, I don't know if they play much baseball on the Babe Ruth
we had
fields
senior
anymore.
Babe Ruth, we had Babe Ruth, senior Babe Ruth, and then had Legion Ball.
Yeah, Legion Ball.
But I remember in Little League playing baseball in July.
Right.
I mean, baseball season is over at like right now.
Right now when school's out.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, we played, we were just getting started good when school was out. It's baseball season now.
Watch the boys this summer.
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
it's over the
July.
spring.
I mean, it leaves June and July open. It's all travel ball,
You know,
and all these other kids.
It reminds me of so much of way the middle school is now. I mean, middle school baseball starts in February.
Yes.
And is over with. And basketball, see, middle school basketball is over with before January the 1st. I mean, and when you need the kids to have something to do and to be busy instead of giving them all the free time, they don't have anything for them in the summer.
I know there could be a league in this town.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be an official Babe Ruth. It could just be a Shovel recreational league for kids, and the kids would go play. If you, they got 5 teams.
Well, you might have a kid that wasn't on a Harris Middle School or one of those teams emerge because of it, and all of a sudden become a player.
And I think that's the thing. Parents nowadays want to be their players, want to be the kids, and everybody's wanting to be. But they don't let the kids
think about this too.
Just be a kid.
Travel sports started in the late '90s, best I can remember, around here, and it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Think about the cost of traveling every weekend now. Mm-hmm. Some parents can't afford to do that, and I think it's going to fade away a little bit. And this will start back because, hey, our park complex is sitting over there with fields.
Yeah.
They need to be used.
I coached for many years. And the funnest year, the year that I had the most fun coaching of football, of all that I did, was when Chevrolet started the 5 and 6 year old coach pitch team, and they went to 7 and 8 year old, and then they went 9 and 10. That we always played Little League, but that first 5 and 6 year old coach pitch team that I coached, we would play, and the kids got better. And after every game, they would ask me, "Did we win?"
Yeah.
Did we win?
They were having fun.
They were having fun,
Yeah.
and I said, and that's what I said. Did you have fun? Yeah. Well, did we win?
You won. Yeah.
Did we win?
Well,
now it's all about winning.
Well, teaching those fundamentals and having fun.
You ain't playing my kid enough.
Yeah.
And this ain't a.
It's sad. It's changed a lot.
It's changed.
All right. What else we got, Bill?
Move on to the NFL here in a minute. We got our list to go over, and we got the schedule to go over.
Got schedule.
All right. Well, we're going to come back after we hear from our sponsors one more time. First Bank and
Kincaid
Service
Company,
where service is their middle name. We'll be right back. Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street. All right, welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. We're going to talk some NFL. Bill?
Schedule came out.
Yeah? Were you disappointed?
Yeah.
Schedule for the Titans is rough.
I'm telling you, it's
schedule
rough.
for the Packers is not very good either.
That's the first time you've had a quarterback go number one and not get a primetime game since Cam Newton in 2011. Now, here's a question that Don Davenport and Blaine were talking on 104.5 yesterday. Had the Titans taken Shadur Sanders, just saying, would they have a primetime game?
Yes.
I tend to agree. Mm-hmm. I really do.
Well, yeah, he became the topic of the whole draft.
Yeah, he did.
It was a draft.
And I think and of course they weren't going to pick him, but if they picked him, would they have a primetime game?
Probably. Might even have two.
Maybe.
They might. Titans have to open at Denver, guys. At Denver.
It's a tough opener.
And then you get the Rams at home. And I said it was the fourth easiest schedule. I look at that schedule and I go, what's easy?
Well, I don't care.
It's based on last year's.
Yeah,
it's all based on last year's, and
there's no easy NFL.
There's no easy NFL team, and that's all based on last year. You don't know what you got this year, but they were fourth in the district in the conference, so that means they play everybody's fourth. So that's going to make it easier. Yeah. That in itself is going to make it easier. I'm telling you. Go ahead, you talk about that.
Well, primetime games stick out to me. The Chiefs got 7. We understand why Patrick Mahomes. The Cowboys get 6.
But 6. You're not supposed to get but 6, but the Chiefs got 7.
Cowboys got 6. Mm-hmm. And then Explain to me how the Atlanta Falcons get 5.
I wondered that. That was the one.
That's the one that just sticks out. I mean, what do we think the Falcons to give them 5 primetime games?
Let's back up to the Cowboys just for a second. If you're a Cowboys fan with that situation that's going on there, would you want to?
I don't know that I want that many. I know.
Jerry does.
Well, yeah, but this make a spectacle on TV.
Cowboys
It's going to be embarrassing. I think
they're as bad as they are. They're still basically
got that star
America's team.
They're not.
But they're not what they used to be. But
Yeah.
they've got people everywhere.
Yeah.
But they got. I'll argue that Pittsburgh Steelers and Green Bay's fan base is as broad as Dallas is.
Oh, it is.
Well, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but if the Cowboys suddenly got good again, you'd see they are still America's team.
Sure
they're
enough,
they're just not good.
They're
but
just not the good.
They're
let
winning
them
season
start off
away.
about 10-2, and everybody have to start.
The Eagles win the Super Bowl, they get 5. The Lions, Bills, and I get those guys. The Commanders, an exciting team. I get
They are.
5.
Yeah, I
the
get
Dolphins get 5. Really?
I know.
They really upped their off-season stuff. So
Now, something else that's interesting. The season starts off with talking prime time on Thursday, September the 4th, Dallas at Philly.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
That'd
good
be
opener.
one. That's a good
Good
opener.
The second one's in Brazil. It's the Chiefs at the Chargers, and it's only
a good
available
one.
on
It
YouTube TV. That's how you have to
So
watch
can we
it.
watch it just on YouTube? I
No.
wonder?
YouTube TV.
Someone will probably mirror it. or
They'll
whatever.
Supposedly, they're
broadcast
going to let
thing
you do it for free.
So
but
if
that's
you
not
live
for
in
you.
Bell Buckle area that doesn't get that stuff,
You can't stick your coat hanger up and pick it up.
Yeah,
No rabbit ears?
No rabbit ears.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
And like I mentioned to y'all for the show, there's several Monday night games where you get 2 games this year, which is kind of cool. But it's Houston-Seattle game, and they're putting it on ESPN Plus only. Well, they own ABC and ESPN. That's trying to make you buy ESPN Plus.
They're forcing you to get the credit card out.
to buy.
Exactly.
If I could
what it
change
is.
anything, I would always have 2 Monday night games. I like when one starts at 6 and one starts at
I think it's
7:30.
fun.
And that's easy to do with East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, because the 12 o'clock window on Sundays, there's just too many games.
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
Take one of those and put it on Monday night. Have 2 Monday night.
That makes
games.
perfect sense.
I love it.
But
Let's
let's
do it.
make it where everybody can watch it too.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know this answer, but I'm going to ask y'all, is there an even split between the noon games and the 3 o'clock games? It seems like there's
Much
a lot
more
more
noon. Much
heavier
more
noon.
noon. Yeah.
Why couldn't we split that up a little bit too?
I just think there's more East Coast.
They're trying to
there's not as many.
placate to the West Coast
Right.
teams. Is why
Yeah,
they do that.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
But we
'Cause what
still,
makes it really tough.
our
if you-
television still works at 3 o'clock. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but the West Coast,
Snow doesn't come on at
Yeah.
some point, does it?
that- the West Coast noon game, and that's the thing. The West Coast noon game comes on about 9 o'clock for us.
Look at those European games that start at
Mm,
8:30. What is that
yeah.
on the West Coast? Like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when your team's playing.
And that's for us when I'm in church.
Yeah, I know. I missed that one. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
All right. Something else I found interesting about the Titans. They're talking market size, TV market sizes. I found this odd. Did you all know that Nashville is bigger TV market than Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Kansas City, Las Vegas, Jacksonville, New Orleans, and Green Bay?
Doesn't surprise me.
Didn't me.
No, don't surprise me. at
That we
all.
were bigger than Pittsburgh and Baltimore shocked me.
And you know why that is? It's because Nashville, you have some
And
smaller
Buffalo, by the
cities
way.
around,
Buffalo, bigger than Buffalo too. Of
but
course, we knew
you've
that
got large cities piled in next to each other,
Mhm.
and their following is a smaller geographic area, and our following is a large. It goes from
It's
Memphis
bigger.
all the way to
Yeah.
Knoxville.
Yeah,
bigger.
Rutherford County alone is now bigger than
It-
Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah.
And the thing
Rutherford County.
about Nashville's, there's nobody in Kentucky.
No,
There's nobody in Alabama.
Nope.
That's right.
There's
Mississippi,
you got-
Georgia, all
you
that.
Got, you got that big
Yeah.
old. Yep, like you said.
Well,
Other than Atlanta, way down here, we're kind of
We're by
by
ourselves.
ourselves.
Yeah.
when the Titans moved here, 1.2 million people in Nashville. Today, there's only 7 million people in Davidson County.
What?
Titans brought 'em in.
9 million people.
Bud Adams.
Think about that.
You think
Did
Bud
you know
Adams
that?
for that?
I'm just saying that's
It
huge
must
growth.
be talking about the
1.2
big
million.
circle around
Yeah.
it.
It
Yeah.
is.
That's
It
part
is.
of Davidson
Yeah.
County.
That's the coverage area.
That's the coverage
what it
area.
is.
No, this was just Davidson County. The
Well,
coverage
see,
area is way
population-
bigger.
The population of Tennessee is 7 million.
Yeah.
So that number's got to
that's the
be
coverage
skewed
area.
somehow.
I can't believe it. I was
No.
shocked.
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
I think we're about 7 million for the whole state. So
I
that's
thought
got to
that number I
include the
saw
whole
was closer
thing.
to like a 10 or 11 million now.
You didn't look at it, but the Green Bay have been.
The smallest by far.
They've been. They hadn't had a home opener in 7 or 8 years, and they've been wanting a home opener. Well, they got a home opener this year, and they're going to open
Yeah.
up with the Detroit Lions, and then 5 days later, they're going to play the Washington Commanders.
Command skins. Command
Redskins.
skins.
It's a rough start. isn't it?
Washington 5 days later on Thursday a fourth of all. They only have 8 home games, and a fourth of their home games are going to be in the first 5 days.
What
of
a
the
great
season.
Thursday night game, though. That's going to be a great Thursday night game.
Manskins are my team. I like them.
Yeah, I know it.
Did you know, though, that New Orleans is the second smallest market, which surprised me, to Green Bay?
Wow.
Did that shock you?
Yeah. It
I
does.
thought New Orleans was a lot bigger than that. The second smallest market in the National Football League is the New Orleans.
I would have thought Jacksonville was.
Me too. They were the next one up.
Here's the thing about New Orleans. They don't have anybody south going white.
Yeah.
No.
You're right.
Nobody south.
Unless it's
No one's sitting out in the
Cuba.
ocean watching it.
Uh-huh. That's true.
Them fish
It's all
don't
north.
Them fish don't get TV.
And you very quickly run into the Tennessee Titans when you come north. And then you go west, you go to Houston. So
you got Houston, Dallas,
Jacksonville to the Yep.
You got Atlanta, Titans.
Yeah. They're kind of pigeoned in
They're
there.
right there and got a.
Yeah, what's the draw with Atlanta? That was one of my questions too. Is it Bijan Robinson? What's the draw?
That's
I don't
what
know.
I'm asking too. What makes you think they're going to be an elite team? Michael Penix?
Well, they got the two. They went for 2 first-round draft picks this year, and I don't know.
I always hear it's based on last year, and of course the 49ers got 5 games. Did you see they paid Brock Purdy?
I did.
They paid 181 guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
He's overpaid.
He went from cheeseburgers to filet mignons real fast.
Well,
181
He ain't
guaranteed.
that. He ain't that. He's good.
I've
He's
said it
that.
ad nauseum. You want to pay great players at a position, I get it. I understand paying a great quarterback, but just because you play the position of quarterback and you're number 15 out of 32, I can't see paying that kind of money. I'm sorry. Just like left tackle. If you're a great left tackle, I see getting great money.
But here's how are they going to be able to play the rest of them?
Yeah.
Right.
I tell you, who's getting the thing we leave out. We talk about what all the players are getting. The key person in the background is the one that handles the money, the financial situations in each organization. How they're going to be able to spread that money out so they can still stay under the salary cap and play and pay all of their other people that they got to have to come back.
Speaking of money and the Tennessee Titans, they're making a big push trying to sell season tickets. So if anybody out there needs season tickets, they got some deals. You better jump on them. If you want to go see the Titans play, they're pushing them because there are a lot available.
Man, it's all I do.
And you better get them now while they're still in the old stadium, because once they get in that new stadium, they're going out the roof.
They're pricing everybody out.
There's going to be less seats there too,
and less seats.
They know.
Yeah,
they can't sell as many of them.
Less seats, more luxury, I guess. Huh?
It's all I can do to get in the chair to watch them right now.
I know it.
And I love the Titans. Nobody loves them more than me.
I know. All right. We got our top 5. What else you got, Bill? You got some more
See if
stuff?
I had one other thing I had NFL wise.
I heard Levis was ahead of Ward right now, and
Yeah.
Oof.
And
Titans
we ain't heard Bill say
where?
we hadn't heard Bill say Levis's name today.
The Titans played 3 straight road games.
He's just ignoring that. Isn't he?
I am ignoring Will Levis.
Yeah. All right.
3 straight road games, and then they play 3 straight home games. They're at home the entire month of November. Problem is going to be by the time you get to November, them home games.
It's over.
And they better hope it's good weather.
September and October will tell the tale for the Titans or any team.
Well, I tend to agree with you. I mean,
for them,
the start couldn't be much worse.
Let's hope that they're competitive in all of them, and
we're still pulling for them.
Yeah.
Well, the only team in the division that I see that's worse.
I think they're going to win 6 or 7
is
games.
the Colts.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are worse than the Titans.
Now, let me go with the Titans this year with a question. Are having a uniform change this year? Or is it next year?
It'll be the year it's going to be the year they go to the stadium, which will
year
probably
they go
2027
into the new stadium.
That's when you're going to see the new uniforms.
All right.
Now the Columbia blue will be the home.
I like the Columbia.
That's what the home's going to be.
A lot of teams are going.
Yep.
Changing their uniforms.
There's more money in it.
Yeah, there's money.
I think Cam Ward's jersey right now is the number 1 rookie jersey sales in the NFL. All right.
Somebody on here is Miss Cash. You're wanting to know about the news. We come on at 10 o'clock with the wrap up show, so we'll be back here in a little while. But we're going to talk about top 5 defensive linemen.
Hey, can we go backwards? Can we start at 5 and work our way?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do
it.
All right,
that's good.
Let's make it more drama.
All right, let's create more drama.
Yeah.
I've turned my list upside down. All right, here we go.
Me?
Yeah, number 5, Kenny, defensive lineman.
Mean Joe Green. You want
all right,
that's a good one.
All right,
it's a good one.
All right,
you want a coconut smile?
John Randall, the Minnesota Vikings.
Very good, very good.
I went number 5, Deacon Jones.
All right, I got Joe Green. I'm with you. Steeler. All right, number 4, Jason.
Merlin Olsen.
All right, going
Very
back
good,
sometime.
Very
all
good.
right.
I got an autographed football of Merlin Olsen.
Oh,
All right,
really?
so are you picking him for number 4 too?
Authentic, no.
All right, who you got for number 4?
Randy White.
Randy White, Dallas Cowboys. All right.
Now, how do y'all feel about this one? I'm going to say Michael Strahan because I kept wanting to say he was an end, but he really wasn't Strahan.
No, he had his foot, he had his
Strahan
fist
had
in the
his hand
dirt.
in the ground.
He had his hand in the dirt.
He's
Yeah.
in the dirt.
I mean, he had
He's in the dirt.
had the NFL record 22 and a half sacks.
Yeah.
I know
In the
Brett
dirt.
Favre gave him
Yeah,
one of
okay,
them.
yeah.
In
I'm
the
going to go
dirt.
Michael Strahan.
In
All
the
right.
dirt.
I got Warren Sapp for number 4.
That's
All
good.
right, number
Yeah,
3,
very
I'm going to
good.
start there. Alan
Right.
Page, Minnesota Vikings.
Good.
Purple People Eater.
Mhm.
All right, Kenny.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, very good. All right.
I went Mean Joe Green for number 3.
Mean Joe. Number
Aaron
3.
Donald,
Aaron Darnold.
I thought
Darnold.
about it.
recent
Yeah,
guy, Aaron
I know.
Donald, and he's just
Yeah.
been 9-time Pro Bowler, 7-time All-Pro.
Yep.
Had 20 and a half sacks from the defensive tackle position in
All right.
2018.
Bill, number 2.
I got to go Bruce Smith. I mean, he was just awesome.
Bruce Smith.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Darnold.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith. All right. All right. Then
Number
we
one.
all want to say this
Number
together.
one, we're all
Number
winning.
1, Reggie
Reggie
White.
The Minister of Defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was no debate on
Hey,
that.
and I shook Reggie White's hand one time,
Did you?
and you could feel the strength of that man. It was like a paw, and when he grabbed your hand, he
Yeah.
could have broke my hand. I mean, easily.
Yeah.
That was a
But-
big, strong dude.
You know, Whit Taylor played against Reggie White
Yep.
a couple of times
Yep.
and asked him the story about him getting sacked and him helping him up and saying, God bless you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
you
he
know,
was nice.
he's a
Yeah.
nice guy, but
Yeah,
he ripped
right,
your head
yeah,
off.
Yeah.
Hey, from the day one to the last day, God bless you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Always.
Just a great guy. He was
Yeah.
a great guy. He was a great guy when I met him.
Lost
Fit-
him too soon.
Yeah.
Football was important to him,
But
but
number
it
one
wasn't
thing-
his first
yeah.
priority.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it
No.
was not his first priority.
And he had a lot to do with the University of Tennessee turning football around with Johnny Majors. If you think about it, came with Reggie White.
Hey,
That was
Yeah.
when you really
Yeah.
started to see
Yeah.
the
and I'll
balls come
say
on
this.
football.
Y'all know what killed him. It was sleep apnea.
Was it?
Created cardiac arrest. So that's just something out there for anybody that's got sleep apnea. Get treated.
You know, he went to
Just throw it.
he went to the Green Bay Packers, and he was the big.
Yeah.
You know what sold him to the Green Bay Packers? Mike Holmgren called him and he said, "Hey, I just got a message from God, and He said you was coming to Green Bay."
All right. Hey, there's some participation out here. Cam Farrell says Reggie White, Warren Sapp, Bob Lilly,
Good.
Tony Sanders says Mark Gastineau. Come on, Tony.
Come on, Tony.
Get me.
Yeah,
Cam
he's
Farrell,
good.
He was a good one though.
He was a good one.
J.J. Watt. Hey,
Hey,
if he had stayed healthy, we would be
Exactly.
having that conversation.
Sure enough.
My
Yeah.
two backups were Warren Sapp and Bob Lilly.
Bob Lilly
was
yeah,
a good
another
one.
Dallas man.
Yeah.
How about Alan Page? From the
Alan
Green
Page.
Bay
I got
Purple
him.
Eaters?
I got him.
He was a purple eater. He was.
I had him, Alan Page.
And
I also
Merlin-
Carl Eller too. From
Merlin Olsen was.
I had him down.
He was a great
And I-
commentator
and I'll
too.
tell you-
He was
Richard
good.
Dent. Richard Dent from the
Yeah.
Bears.
TSU.
Yep, from the
Tennessee
Bears.
State.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can't think of all I can think of was his movie. Played for the Detroit Lions. He
Mark
rode.
Crumrine.
He rode the big old something in Blazing Saddles.
Alex Karras.
Alex Karras
Alex
was
Karras,
a player.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alex Karras was a player.
You know, Merlin Olsen was a commentator
He was
on
a great
ABC
commentator. Yeah, he
for
was a
several
great
years.
commentator.
And yeah, they
All
did
right,
good.
name it. This is off the same thing on defensive tackle, but for 1 year that had a dominant and never did anything else but 1 year. Name that defensive tackle that really he destroyed the NFL for 1 year.
And then he got his.
And he got paid and he got
Then he
fat.
got paid.
Albert Hainsworth.
He was so dominant that 1 year.
I never would forget it against the Falcons. He went right over to center
Yeah.
and
Yep.
tackled the quarterback and the back.
And
against
sure
the-
did.
That was
I
the
was
year.
at that game. That was
the
crazy.
preceding years to get paid, and
Yeah.
he had that year went off.
Yep.
And then after it's over with, he said, "Thanks
Hey,
for the
he
money."
was like
Done or not
done.
he was like Godzilla
Yeah.
on the line.
Oh,
I mean,
yes, agreed.
just unbelievable.
And imagine him and Big John Henderson at Tennessee
Oh,
together the way
golly.
they were. Oh,
Unreal.
Coached against John Henderson when he was
Another
right.
name that came up
Lee
when I was
Parcon.
talking to some other people.
Parcon. We coached against him.
Tony Saragusa. You remember him?
Tony
Saragusa.
yeah.
He was a good one.
Yes, sir.
died too young too.
Yep.
Died too young also.
Guys, it's time for us to wind up, and this winds our season up, guys.
Right.
It's been
What-
fun.
Let the viewers know when
We'll
what's
be
our-
back on the week of July the 19th. That will be the official start of a lot of this 7-on-7 for high school. A lot of the high schools will start working out for football.
And we're going
So
to try
we'll be
to
back
have
then. And
high school football coaches come in with us.
Yeah, we will be having all that. We're going to have some other neat things next year. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's a year away. It's just a couple months.
So about 8 weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's about 2 months. 2 months. Today is what, the 20? No, today's the 17th. So it's exactly 2 months away.
2 months.
So we're going to take a little pause while school's out, and we'll be back.
Graduation this week. Cascade on Thursday night. Community on Friday night. Shovel on Saturday.
Yep. All right, guys, it's been fun.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for joining us this year, and again, we want to thank our two sponsors, First Bank and
Kincaid
Service
Company,
where service is our middle name. See you next year.